What's going on, filmmakers? I'm Alexander Don, and today I'm gonna do a lighting breakdown on how I shot these two sequences. Alright, so hopefully you loved how these two short sequences look, and let me show you step by step what I did in order to achieve this look. So if you're used to this channel, usually we start off with what camera, lenses, and other things I used. And my camera of choice for this project was the Sony FX6 with the Sony 50mm f1.2. And yeah, we shot everything at 1.2 because Sony has an amazing autofocus. And I really want to take advantage of that and use 1.2 because it looks like nothing else. And in terms of lights, I only used two lights on the scene, and that is because we already had a little bit of sun coming through the apartment and was filling up a little bit our shadows. Because we had a little bit of light coming through the window, we added some really powerful lights to shape the lighting as we wanted. So in the back we have a NANLITE Forza 60 with a projector lens that was making this beautiful beam of light that was also amplified by the haze machine that we had. So as you can see, I filmed handheld at 25 frames per second at ISO 800, and I had my variable ND from the camera on. So my second light was right from this angle. And as you can see, we had like a really big team for this shoot. It was a commercial that I'm not allowed to show in its full integrity, but I'm allowed to show a few snips and a few shots from it. So really big crew, a lot of makeup going on, a lot of preparation. And now you can see my light placement, which is from the side. It's a Forza 500 with a big softbox on it. So this light has a ton of power, and that's why we used it, because if you look at the shot, you see that it has a lot of separation, and she has a glass of wine. It looks like she's enjoying herself after a long day of work. So this is what we wanted to create. And because we have such powerful lights, we can battle with the light coming from the outside and we can create this mood. We also have a practical light right here on the wall, which is giving us a little bit of that mood that she's into. So lights are open in the house, so it means that's a little bit later in the day. So I really love how it turned out. I think the skin tones look really good. I think the table that she's placed at helps a lot in terms of skin tone because it reflects, and we have this really beautiful color on her skin. But the lights do a lot. Like, I really love using Forza 500 with a softbox. I think the light coming from that light is really good. Now what I want to do is, like, I build up a virtual set inside CineTracer, and I want to show you a little bit on how I put the lights and why. Alright, so this is our virtual set inside CineTracer. So if you guys are curious what app this is CineTracer on Steam. You can install this on Mac or on any platform you want, or Windows. And it's really cool because if you're not shooting, you can do a lot of lighting experiments in here. So this was my lighting placement. This is the place where I had my camera. The sun was something around there, and it was going through the window. So we have a lot of light coming in. So that's why we used powerful lights. So my light placement is around here, so it's giving us a really beautiful side light that is cinematic, and I had my backlight barely hitting her and hitting here on the ground, which gave a little bounce here, and it was looking also nice, and also our practical light. But this was it. This is from another angle. Also, because the light was covered by the wall, you cannot see it in the shot. So let me see if I can. So the shot was like this somehow. I think the whole setup and also the apartment helps a lot. Whenever you shoot in some beautiful apartments, it's very easy to light. Like in our case, we only used two lights to light the scene. So moving on to the next shot, we have this cool little segment with the mother and the kid that looks very natural. And it was a little bit hard to get this right, especially when you shoot with kids, because kids don't do the same movement over and over again and they kind of get shy really fast. So whenever you guys work with the kids, just have a lot of patience, because in the end you're gonna get the shots. But anyway, we're gonna go behind the scenes and show you how we shot this sequence, because I think it's really beautiful and the lighting looks awesome as well. So for this one, we also used only 2 lights. And by this time you're thinking, Alex, why are you not complicating your lighting more? And that is because I like to keep my lighting simple, and we shot like, I don't know, probably 15 scenes in that day. So I couldn't have a really complicated lighting setup. So I chose to light as best as I can in the fastest time as I can. So because of that, I chose to use a more simple lighting setup, but a lighting setup that works and looks good. And from my point of view, I think these shots look really good. Like, you don't need more than that. So in terms of lighting gear, what I used for this scene was a NANLITE mix panel 150 with a softbox. That was my key light. And for the backlight, I used the NANLITE Forza 500 that was giving me this beautiful light that it appears that the sun goes through the window. And we don't have shots with that one because it was being outside and I didn't film behind the scenes. But we can see that that light does a lot, because we have a lot of haze in the background, and it kind of gives us a really beautiful atmosphere and separation. Again, I was filming handheld, and we should take a moment to appreciate my haircut, because it was a mess and I had long hair, if you could say long, but it was yeah, interesting. Here my director was checking out the shots to see if they are good and if we have it. And now we're gonna go inside the Cine Tracer and I'm gonna show you my lighting placement a little bit better. So we shot the whole thing. So this was where we shot our first take, and this is where we shot our second take. And this is where my light was, right here, from that angle, giving us this beautiful key light. And we also had the big Forza 500 in the background, giving us this beautiful shadow on the wall. And because we had haze, this part right here was filled with atmosphere. And pretty simple setup, but super effective. Again, this was effective because we had this beautiful location. If we weren't having this beautiful location, I probably think our lighting setup would have been much harder. But yeah, let me know what you think about this behind the scenes. I wanted to keep it a little bit shorter this time because I wanted to concentrate all my information about this behind the scenes. And if I missed something, please ask me down below in the comments and I will respond. And as you can see, I try to respond to all my comments. I try to implement all your feedback. And what I would love you to do is give me a subscribe, and also if you want, give me a super like. YouTube just added this function where you can give a super like. So if you guys want that, I will be very happy. So until next time, I'm Alexander Don, and I really hope this video was helpful. Cheers.